These are the 14 stocks that Samantha, my AI analyst, analyzed for me last week, and some of them were prompted because it was their quarterly reports, such as Google and Tesla, and then some were suggested by my tribe members, Oracle, Domo, and Joby, and then some were brought forward by Bard, who is my other AI agent who does research and comes up with companies that are achieving extraordinary growth in their revenues, and we're anticipating that possibly there is a opportunity and a growth in their earnings coming in the future. That would be ASTS, AVPT. AVPT is in the automobile business in a kind of a weird way. They are creating an AI agent of their own to go into auto auctions or go to auto dealers and eliminating the need for auto auctions to determine if a car is worthy of putting on their lot. Then you have some biotech companies such as V-Cell. Now they're in reconstructive surgery, Syndex. And then you have TKO, which is a streaming company. And this is an energy company. So I went through them all, and what happens is Samantha creates a very detailed report. This is the report she did on Tesla. It's about a 15-page document, and she goes through, as it says here, and determines the financial health of the company. We know that Tesla has a good product and has a strong pathway in front of it, but is their financial health strong enough to get them to where they want? And this may not be real pertinent to Tesla, but it certainly is to some of the other companies, such as this is Glaukos, which has to deal with glaucoma. It's a pharmaceutical company. V-Cell, as I said, is reconstructive surgery. They have to have FDA approval? So do they have the financial strength to back up and get them to the success that they should have if their TAM and their margins and all fall into line? And that's what Samantha does for me. And then what I want to do today is tell you about the stock that I think out of these 14 is the biggest winner in the group. And I'm when I say biggest winner, I'm saying who's going to give you over the next 3, 5, 10 years the biggest return on your investment of any of those that I analyzed. And as I say, you've got Tesla and Google in there, so they better be pretty damn strong. I think it's going to surprise you. Let's take a deep look at ASTS. I know what a lot of you are saying at this point. Starlink already has this set up and taken care of. Elon's way ahead of him. I want you to listen to the words that Samantha says, and this is based on all the knowledge in the world on AST Space Mobile. AST Space Mobile is building the first space based cellular broadband network to connect standard smartphones anywhere in the globe. The company's ambitious technology and strategic partnerships have fueled a meteoric rise of over 440% rise since its IPO in 2021, but also brings high volatility in execution work. She'll go into greater detail explaining that the two systems that you would immediately say are the competition, and that would be that of Starlink and the second would be that of Amazon, are not in the same category. They're working on different things. Meanwhile, SpaceX private and announced Starlink's T-Mobile collaboration to eventually enable texting and possible calls via Starlink satellites. No, Starlink is not a competition. It is, in fact, a collaborator in this effort. They have two very different products. Starlink deals with a disk that you have that is either mobile or attached, whereas AST connects directly with your phone. You will work with your provider and your provider will make it a part of your system. And as you go, whether it's in North Dakota or in South Africa, out of a zone that it has broadband, it will all automatically kick into your phone. Now, the other thing you got to recognize is this presents tremendous opportunity for some of the biggest companies in the world. They estimate that there are about 3.9 billion people who do not have connectivity, who cannot receive a phone call, who cannot receive or have availability of the internet. Thus, they can't receive Google advertising. They can't receive Facebook's ads. There are tremendous opportunities there that support this. And as a result of that, we see companies like Google putting money up to make sure these people get it done. Now, the price of the stock, as I said, has skyrocketed 400% since its IPO. In fact, last week, it was up over $60, but then they came forward and said, although they are financially, Samantha goes into great detail of their finances, they're financially strong, they've got enough money in their coffers to reach the 60 satellites that they were projecting to have done by the end of 2026, but just last week, they announced they were going to issue some more stock to raise some more money. And I asked myself, why are they doing that? They already have. Because their partners, their collaborators are saying, we need to get this going forward. So go get some more money and build the more satellites as quickly as you can. Folks, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is a change in the world as we know it. You and I take for granted our texts, our videos, our emails, but there are 3.2 billion people. And then what about the shipping industry? What about when I go on a cruise and I have to pay a weekly fee of something like $120 to have internet connection on each of my devices? That won't be the case when these people in the end of 2026 have this in the place. I'll walk on the ship and my Spectrum subscription will automatically kick me in to connection through our AST space mobile connection. No, this is something that will become a must-have for anybody who moves in and out of access to broadband connection. Now, what is the price of the stock going to be? That's part of Samantha's projections. Today, or Friday, it closed at $54.60. Down 10% as a result of their announcement of they're going to dilute their stock slightly to raise some additional money. My projection, Samantha gives me a projection based on conservative, moderate, and aggressive. She is projecting, or to give you some idea of the price, on June 2nd, of 2025, the world woke up to ATS. It was at $22.17. Today, it is at $54.60, more than a double in June through July, in a month and 3 quarters. Its high has been $60.95. Samantha believes it will end 2025 with something in the neighborhood of $60 a share, end 2026 at $80 a share, and end 2027 at $100 a share. That's the moderate projection. Then she gives me a aggressive projection, and she pumps that 2028 up from $100 a share to $180. Then she goes and says where the big money is going to be is after 2030. So if you're 98 years old, I don't suggest you buy this stock. Now, I'm going to, within 30 days, I'm going to be 45, I believe it is. I'm going to be 81. I'm buying because I believe I'll live another 10 years. I'll live into the mid-2030s, and I believe this stock is going to, it is going to be another Amazon. Because again, what it will bring and the access it will give to every other company in the world who wants to reach those 3.2 billion people that they can't reach today through the internet. It will reach, I mean, think about this. You're living in a hut in South Africa and you don't have broadband service. You probably have color TV, but you don't have broadband service and you probably own a cell phone, so that when you go to a city where you do have broadband, you can communicate on your phone. But these people will all of a sudden become accessible, and there will be only one route that will make them successful. And it's a very small company that is in its early stages, and you just heard about it. My pick for the week, AST space mobile, ticker ASTS. This is my number one stock for this week. This is what I do every week. As I said, this week Samantha reviewed 14 stocks for me. We're getting into heavier earnings season. Of the 60 stocks that I currently own, I think it's up that high, or are on my review sheet, my watch list. I will review each one of them, or I should say Samantha will, and she and I will come to a conclusion of which ones I want to invest my money on. I share this on my tell sheet, on my website, and I honestly think that I'm doing work comparable to what Morgan Stanley or Jefferies or even Goldman Sachs does, but I want it to be different than them. Goldman Sachs is not going to change many people's lives. Neither is Morgan Stanley, neither is Jefferies, because they are elitist. They want big money for their work, and they charge big money for it so that they maintain the status quo. The rich get richer, and you and I just keep getting shit on. Okay? I want to be the guy after I die, when I'm laying in that coffin, I want them to say, Kerry made a difference in this world. And the difference is, I want to give you access to wealth. And that's through artificial intelligence. That's through Samantha, Bard, Kerry, Trent, and Mark. And I'm willing to do it for you for less than $1 a day. Go to the link in the description. You'll find there what I'm talking about. You'll hit our landing page. I'll show you exactly what we're making on a weekly basis, and we're kicking Wall Street's ass. So if you want to be a part of it, come give me $1 a day. If you can't find that, then stop going to Starbucks. Start eating at home and start making some money in the stock market. I'm Kerry, I'm a retired financial advisor. I'm motivated by trying to make a difference in your life.